Hey everyone, tonight I decided that I wanted to tell a somewhat creepy story to the people who believe in the paranormal. This is for you. I'm a personal believer in the paranormal based on my personal experiences, and this is one of the reasons why. For background context, my dad passed away when I was 3, and I did experience certain paranormal things surrounding that whole time when he was dying, and I have a pretty decent memory from when I was young. So that's a story for another time, but this story took place when I was like 5 or 6, and I know a lot of you are probably like, oh my god, there's like so many stories from when you were like 6. And I don't know, recently I've been thinking a lot about stories from when I was a kid. I don't know why, specifically that age range, but this took place when I was young and I was laying in bed at night. My goodness, I'm mixing up my words. So, first it starts off with this weird nightmare I had. So I had this dream that there was, and I had a weird fear of bald men for a while after this because of this dream. And it was one of those dreams where I just remember everything very clearly. So I had a dream that my mom left me in the car, which my mom wasn't barbaric. She would lock the car or have me lock the car and have the AC still going for me. Like, she didn't leave me in a hot car ever. She wasn't like that. She wasn't an evil mother or anything. So she left me in the car and she went to go into the store in the dream, and when she left, there was a red car in front of me, and the red car had a bald guy sitting in it. He had his arms like up a certain way, like as if he was chilling, but we made like locked eye contact and he was staring at me. Then he reached up above into like that one compartment where you put your sunglasses and stuff in your car, and he took out something, and it was a knife, and somehow some way he majestically also had a key to get into the car. And I started panicking and trying to keep it locked, but he kept unlocking it, eventually coming into the side door and holding this knife over my head. And before he could do anything, I just kept like sinking into like the seat. But before he could do anything, I woke up. And as I woke up, if you like, obviously, anybody will know this, but you like hear this creepy music and scary movies and stuff. And I kid you not, it sounded like there was creepy music playing in the house. And I didn't know why. So immediately my mind already just, after coming from a nightmare, just now shot into this reality check of my thoughts thinking, oh no, something bad's gonna happen. Even if nothing bad would have happened, I now assumed something bad was going to happen, because there was this creepy music playing throughout the whole house. So basically, I hid under the covers, because that's the most kid-like instinct to do. And I remember just hiding under for a moment. And then finally, I gathered up the courage to peek, and I kid you not, like, I had my mom alive still after my dad passed. And obviously I've mentioned her before, even in, like, this story I mentioned her. So when I peeked, I saw the body of a woman standing in front of me. But I knew that body standing in front of me wasn't the body of my mom. So I got even more scared and I hid again. So I remember taking a moment, and what felt like forever I waited until finally I was like, let me peek again. But this time I'm gonna peek upward. And I kid you not, the scariest thing I ever witnessed in my life was there. When I looked out, staring back at me as if it knew exactly where I was gonna peek at, was this figure with this weird disfigured face. And at the time as a kid, I didn't understand it. But as an adult now, I will describe it as a burnt face of a figure whose eyelids were burnt off, peeled, like literally eyeballs just huge looking at you because the eyelids were burnt off, lips were burnt off, the teeth were exposed, and it was clenched together. The figure had like this orangish bloody like facial feature to it, like burnt and blood. I don't even know how to explain it. And it didn't really have hair except for tiny little strands that you still saw on the head. I was horrified as a child. I remember wanting to scream for my mom, but I just couldn't, because in my mind as a kid, if I started yelling, maybe whatever it was would hurt me. And I remember laying under there for a while, before gathering up the courage to finally get out from under the blankets. And when I did, it was completely gone. It took me a moment, but I also gathered up the courage to go out into the hallway. So when I did go out into the hallway, it was an apartment, so like basically from my room, I was the closest to like the side door, the front door, the living, the dining, the kitchen, all that. My mom's was in like the way back hall, like her room was, and the bathroom was near her. So right there near like the hall, my mom had her computer there, and the thing that was making the noise was actually my mom's Smurfs game still playing. The music just sounded really creepy. I didn't realize that. I think it was a Facebook game at the time. But to this day, I still can't explain what that was. And I definitely know I didn't imagine it. So, and I can still recall all of the details to this day. So I do believe that despite other stories that I do have to share that have to do with paranormal stories, that is one of the creepiest ones I have so far. So I hope that to all of the spooky lovers out there that you enjoyed this story. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow.